I'm stronger, wiser, ahead of my time. Strong when it's ugly, focused when it's rough. Most people quit, but I'm built for this stuff. And for anybody out there fighting alone, keep your heart locked and your mindset like stone. If they doubt, keep going. If they laugh, stay strong. Every scar, every fall still becomes your song. No risk, no story. No risk, no story. No pain, more glory. All that pressure only gave me more energy. LASIFOR TRADER, now the whole world sees. No risk, no story. This is my territory. Dream with hunger, move with desire. LASIFOR TRADER, still rising higher. Stand tall when it burns, hold strong when it hurts. Pressure builds warriors, that's how legends are formed. To the dreamers still bleeding, to the fighters unseen. Your pain is not the end, it's the place where you build your wings. No risk, no story. Whoa. No risk, no story. No fear of glory. Every scar I carry is pure elegy. LASIFOR TRADER, this is my legacy. No risk, no story. Burn it in your memory. Discipline, hunger, vision, control. LASIFOR TRADER with a warrior solo. No risk, no story. No risk, no story. Built from pain, destined for glory. To the doubters and haters, thank you for the fuel. I turn that fire into something beautiful. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. It was never love, it was discipline. It was pain and getting back up. They saw me down, but never defeated. While they kept talking, I stayed locked in and repeated, with pressure on my back and fear right by my side. But the dream was way too big, so I never let it die. They told me no, said this was not for me, said the road was way too hard, that I would never be. But I learned through every hit, I grew through every scar, and now I'm moving more conviction, knowing who I are. Long night studying, I was grinding with a vision, while they were out partying, I was building my position. Locked inside with my thoughts, fully focused on the climb, because I knew one day for sure this moment would be mine. So many weekend sacrifices, I had to let them go. Gave up comfort, gave up fun, just to grow into my role. While they wasted all their energy chasing nights that disappear, I was building something real that would change my whole career. To the ones who doubted me, already heard enough. To the ones who talked on me, I turned that into toughness. I do not hold no hate, I just show what I could be. When a man survives the storm, he becomes his own belief. No risk, no story. No pain, no glory. I turn my hurt to power, and my losses into trophies. No risk, no story. My failures wrote my victory, while they were busy talking, I was writing history. The haters kept watching, waiting on my fall, hoping I would break apart, hoping I would lose it all. But they never understood, and that is what is funny. I go stronger in the fire, I get sharper under pressure, not lucky. When nobody believed, I believed twice as hard. When the world pushed against me, I kept raising my guard. I do not need the noise, I do not sell illusion. I would rather earn respect through results and consistency proven. I stopped enjoying easy things to chase something greater, while most were sleeping on themselves. I was feeding my creator. It was never cause life treated me a different way. I just made sacrifices most people would not make. I saw dark nights, I fought silent battles alone. I paid the price and focus for everything that I own. And even when it hurt to watch the world celebrate, I stayed quiet, kept evolving, kept building my fate. To the ones who doubted me, already heard enough. To the ones who talked on me, I turned that into toughness. I do not hold no hate, I just show what I could be. When a man survives the storm, he becomes made me steal. Every no gave me more power. Every betrayal built the wheel while they were chasing temporary highs. I was betting on a dream, on a stronger life. Trading fun for vision hurts, that much is true. But nobody builds greatness doing what is easy to do. No risk, no story. Now they see the whole journey. It was never ego, it was fake. It was never luck, it was learning. No risk, no story. I am still coming for more. To the ones who said I would not make it, my life answered at the door. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. I felt I learned I rose while they were out celebrating. I was becoming who I chose. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. They saw me down, but never broken. While they talked, I turned into stone. They said not for you, you'll never make it. I stayed silent, grinding, plotting my comeback. Sleepless nights, weekends, sacrifice. They were partying, I was building my empire. Every loss made me colder and sharper. Every scar turned me tougher, harder, wiser. To all the doubters, I heard enough. You turned my pain into pure fuel. No risk, no story. No pain, no glory. I turned my hurt into power, my losses into trophies. No risk, no story. My failures wrote my legacy. While you were running your mouth, I was writing history. Every no made me stronger. Every betrayal made me deadlier. You chased easy pleasure. I bet everything and became a legend. No risk, no story. Now look at me. It wasn't luck, it was war. And I'm still coming for you more. No risk, no story. No risk, no story. I rose and became what you'll never be. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This is not a story about luck. This is about discipline. Long nights, silent battles, a big dream. One plan only, no plan B. While they were sleeping, I was still awake, fighting in silence for the future I would make. Weekends studying, weekends at work. While they chased comfort, I was building my worth. Nobody saw the hours, nobody saw the pain. They only see the shine, not the losses or the strain. Late nights, heavy mind, pressure on my chest. But deep inside I knew I had to give my best. I had to choose between pleasure and the goal. So I gave up the easy just to grow my soul. I walked away from moments just to chase something great. Because if you want it all, you do not sit and wait. And they said I would never make it out. Still I kept going, never feel without. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my ride. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in a fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength with LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up and that is my story. No plan A, no plan B.
We just made a trade.
That belongs to me. Some were laughing at the choices that
$180
judging from a distance while I sharpen my
here
blade. They said it was impossible, said I would
that
not go
account
far, but I was
from
too
here
busy
to up here.
working on who I really was. Haters always talking when they see you ain't right.
In here,
They
out
hate
there.
your focus, they hate your reason why, but they never understood what was living in my chest. I do not live on excuses, I work all the rest. Every fall was a lesson,
Now here
every
waiting for the
scar
next
was a
one.
sign. Every loss on the road made my vision more defined, because history is never made by playing it safe. It is made by the ones who keep going through the way. They said I would never make it out, still I kept going, never filled with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength with LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up and that is my story. No plan A, no plan B, just one road and that belongs to me. While they were chasing comfort, I chose the pain. While they wanted quick results, I stayed in the rain.
So we're break even already on this trade.
They are built when you work while others play. And if the price was leaving some things behind, then it was worth it for the life in my mind. I did not come this far just to stop halfway. I came to win and I came
Break
to
even
stay.
already.
LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Now they see the scars, now they see the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. A stronger soul and a heart to LASIFOR TRADER.
The market is still on diverging.
For the ones who doubted, this is my story.
So maybe
No plan B, just my word and the beast in me.
maybe we will reverse soon.
LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built through sacrifice, built through focus, built through pain, turned into power. And this is only the beginning. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. It was not luck, it was endurance. It was falling down and rising again.
Kind of looking good right now.
Looking fear in the face and saying you will not stop me today. So many sleepless nights staring at the chart in silence, with my soul torn into pieces, but my mind still full of guidance. While others gave up early, I kept grinding through the pain, because the dream I carry deeply is not something bought overnight. I have felt defeat breathing right behind my neck. I have doubted my own strength when the red kept bringing pressure, but inside my chest there is a fire that never
So this is a free trade, basically, because we are break even already.
Again, if I lose today, tomorrow I come back with faith. I did not come this far.
Like I said, we had
because I fear mistakes. I will not give up.
a divergent here.
Even if it hurts to keep going. Even
Gonna take me out.
keeps telling me that I will never make it.
Almost, wow,
I keep fighting
almost.
in silence, with my soul still burning bright, because I know one day.
Wow, that was really, really close.
Will be real. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. If there is no battle, there is no glory. Every fall keeps riding me.
Let's go, let's do it.
Memory. I stay solid, I stay breathing with my head always held high.
Yep.
Because I know
Now,
one day it will be real.
again,
Trading taught me self-control is worth much more than noise.
Yeah,
It is not
stop
the
me out.
impulsive one who wins, it is the one who holds the course. Every stop was a lesson, every error a warning sign. Every candle kept shaping more patience, more strength, more discipline. It
stop
is
me
not
out,
about
and
lucky
then
moments or a sudden miracle. It is
run out
discipline
to
in the shadows
the
when
TP.
nobody sees the sacrifice. It is moving on when you are broken, when everything turns dark. Saying I have not won yet, but
Almost
I will
TP.
not fall apart. And if I fall, I rise again. If fear starts screaming, I silence it with faith. I did not come this far just to watch my keep going, even if the world keeps telling me that I will never make it. I keep fighting inside when my soul's still burning bright, because I know one day it will be real. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. There is no battle, there is no glory. Every fall keeps writing me, every scar becomes my memory. I stay solid, I stay breathing with my head always held high, because I know one day it will be real. It does not matter how many times I have to start from zero. If the dream is still alive, I stay standing at the table, let them talk. The ones who do not know the weight of every fall. I keep building what will one day completely change my life. It is not only about money, it is about who I become through the process. Stronger, wiser, colder in the storm, closer to the day when my promise is fully born. I will not give up. I have learned how to endure. Every hidden tear inside me taught me how to survive. I keep fighting in silence, but my faith is still alive, because I know one day it will be real. Yeah, LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. That is the code behind my story. I do not bend, I do not break. I turn all my pain into glory, with a steady heart, with a fully focused mind. I still believe it, one day it will be real. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. I am still here, still standing, still fighting. That day will come. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This is not a story about luck. This is about discipline. Long nights, silent battles, a big dream, one plan only, no plan B. While they were sleeping, I was still awake, fighting in silence for the future I would make. Weekends studying, weekends at work. While they chased comfort, I was building my worth. Nobody saw the hours, nobody saw the pain. They only see the shine, not the losses or the strain. Late nights, heavy mind, pressure on my chest. But deep inside I knew I had to give my best. I had to choose between pleasure and the goal, so I gave up the easy just to grow my soul. I walked away from moments just to chase something great. Cause if you want it all, you do not sit and wait. And they said I would never make it out. Still I kept going, never filled with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up, and that is my story. No plan B. Just one road, and that belongs to me. Some were laughing at the choices that I made, judging from a distance while I sharpened my blade. They said it was impossible, said I would not go far, but I was too busy working on who I really was. Haters always talking when they see you aim high. They hate your focus, they hate your reason why, but they never understood what was inside. I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up, and that is my story. No plan B. Just one road, and that belongs to me. While they were chasing comfort, I chose the pain. While they wanted quick results, I stayed in the rain. Because dreams are not built by the words you say. They are built when you work while others play. And if the price was leaving some things behind, then it was worth it for the life in my mind. I did not come this far just to stop halfway. I came to win and I came to stay. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Now they see the scars, now they see the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Stronger soul and a heart to win. LASIFOR TRADER, LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. For the ones who doubted, this is my story. No plan B. Just my word and the beast in me. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built through sacrifice, built through focus, built through pain, turned into power. And this is only the beginning.
LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This is not a story about luck. This is about discipline. Long nights, silent battles, a big dream. One plan only, no plan B. While they were sleeping, I was still awake, fighting in silence for the future I would make. Weekends studying, weekends at work. While they chased comfort, I was building my worth. Nobody saw the hours, nobody saw the pain. They only see the shine, not the losses or the strain. Late nights, heavy mind, pressure on my chest. But deep inside, I knew I had to give my best. I had to choose between pleasure and the goal, so I gave up the easy just to grow my soul. I walked away from moments just to chase something great. Cause if you want it all, you do not sit and wait. And they said I would never make it out. Still I kept going, never filled with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up, and that is my story. No plan A, no plan B. Just one road, and that belongs to me. Some were laughing at the choices that I made, judging from a distance while I sharpened my blade. They said it was impossible, said I would not go far, but I was too busy working on who I really was. Haters always talking when they see you aim high. They hate your focus, they hate your reason why. But they never understood what was living in my chest. I do not live on excuses, I work all the rest. Every fall was a lesson, every scar was a sign. Every loss on the road made my vision more defined. Because history is never made by playing it safe. It is made by the ones who keep going through the weight. And they said I would never make it out. Still I kept going, never filled with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up, and that is my story. No plan A, no plan B. Just one road, and that belongs to me. While they were chasing comfort, I chose the pain while they wanted quick results. I stayed in the rain, 'cause dreams are not built by the words you say. They are built when you work while others play. And if the price was leaving some things behind, then it was worth it for the life in my mind. I did not come this far just to stop halfway. I came to win, and I came to stay. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Now they see the scars, now they see the glory. It was not love, it was discipline, a stronger soul and a heart to win. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. For the ones who doubt it, this is my story. No plan A, no plan B, just my word and the beast in me. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built through sacrifice, built through focus, built through pain turned into power. And this is only the beginning. LASIFOR TRADER. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This is not a story about luck, this is about discipline. Long nights, silent battles, a big dream. One plan only, no plan B. While they were sleeping, I was still awake, fighting in silence for the future I would make. Weekends studying, weekends at work. While they chased comfort, I was building my worth. Nobody saw the hours, nobody saw the pain. They only see the shine, not the losses or the strain. Late nights, heavy mind, pressure on my chest. But deep inside, I knew I had to give my best. I had to choose between pleasure and the goal, so I gave up the easy just to grow my soul. I walked away from moments just to chase something great. Because if you want it all, you do not sit and wait. And they said I would never make it out, still I kept going, never filled with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Some were laughing at the choices that I made, judging from a distance while I sharpened my blade. They said it was impossible, said I would not go far, but I was too busy working on who I really was. Haters always talking when they see you aim high. They hate your focus, they hate your reason why. But they never understood what was living in my chest. I do not live on excuses, I outwork all the rest. Every fall was a lesson, every scar was a sign. Every loss on the road made my vision more defined. Because history is never made by playing it safe, it is made by the ones who keep going through the wait. And they said I would never make it out, still I kept going, never filled with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, my story. While they were chasing comfort,
I chose the pain.
while they wanted quick results,
I stayed in the rain.
because dreams are not built by the words you say. They are built when you work while others play. And if the price was leaving some things behind, then it was worth it for the life in my mind. I did not come this far just to stop halfway. I came to win and I came to stay.
LASIFOR
LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Now they see the scars, now they see the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline, a stronger soul and a heart to win. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. No risk, no story. For the ones who doubted, this is my story. No plan A, no plan B, just my word and the beast in me. LASIFOR TRADER, no trader, risk, no story. Built through sacrifice, built through focus, built through pain, turned into power.
And this is only the beginning.
LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This is not a story about luck. This is about discipline. Long nights, silent battles, a big dream, one plan only. No plan B. While they were sleeping, I was still awake, fighting in silence for the future I would make. Weekends studying, weekends at work. While they chased comfort, I was building my worth. Nobody saw the hours, nobody saw the pain. They only see the shine, not the losses or the strain. Late nights, heavy mind, pressure on my chest. But deep inside, I knew I had to give my best. I had to choose between pleasure and the goal, so I gave up the easy just to grow my soul. I walked away from moments just to chase something great, because if you want it all, you do not sit and wait. And he said I would never make it out, still I kept going, never feel with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up, and that is my story. No plan A, no plan B, just one road and that belongs to me. Some were laughing at the choices that I made, judging from a distance while I sharpen my blade. They said it was impossible, said I would not go far, but I was too busy working, no I really was. Haters always talking when they see you aim high. They hate your focus, they hate your reason why, but they never understood what was living in my chest. I do not live on excuses, I outwork all the rest. Every fall was a lesson, every scar was a sign, every loss on the road made my vision more defined. Because history is never made by playing it safe, it is made by the ones who keep going through the wait. And they said I would never make it out, still I kept going, never filled with doubt. When the whole world questioned what I had inside, I turned sacrifice into the fuel for my rise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built in the fire, built for the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. Fire in my heart and strength within. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One way up, and
I came to stay. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Now they see the scars. Now they see the glory. It was not luck, it was discipline. A stronger soul and a heart to win. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. For the ones who doubted, this is my story. No plan A, no plan B, just my word and the beast in me. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Built through sacrifice. Built through focus. Built through focus. Built through pain. Turned into power. And this is only the beginning. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. LASIFOR TRADER. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. I was built in silence, I was shaped by pressure. Long nights, no shortcuts, no excuses. No plan B. While they were sleeping, I was chasing the fire. Building myself higher and higher and higher. Weekends at work, weekends with pain. Studying in silence while they dance in the rain. Nobody saw the hunger, nobody saw the grind. Nobody felt the war going on in my mind. Late nights, tired eyes, heart full of scars. But I kept moving forward, I was aiming for stars. I gave up comfort, I gave up peace. I chose the pressure that brings kings to their knees. I missed out on moments, I stayed locked on a mission. Because real elevation demands full commitment. They said I would break, they said I would fall. They left from the side, but I outworked them all. When they threw their doubt, I turned it to power. Now every dark night, built my finest hour. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built through the pain, now I rise in glory. No handouts, no luck, only work, only hunger. What did not kill me only made me stronger. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One dream, one path, that is my story. No plan A, no plan B, only the top in front of me. They talked, they hated, they doubted me. Now they look up when they mention me. They were talking down while I was leveling up. They were chasing fun, I was filling my cup. Every setback hit, but I never ran. I kept my eyes on a vision, I stayed with the plan. Haters love noise, but they fear real drive. They speak on your name when they see you rise. They never understood what it costs to grow. How much you lose just to become that force. I turned every wound into deeper belief. Turned pressure and pain into power beneath. Every loss taught lessons, every scar left proof that the ones who survive become artists' truth. They said I would break, they said I would fall. They left from the side, but I outworked them all. When they threw their doubt, I turned it to power. Now every dark night, built my finest hour. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built through the pain, now I rise in glory. No handouts, no luck, only work, only hunger. What did not kill me only made me stronger. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One dream, one path, that is my story. No plan A, no plan B, only the top in front of me. They talked, they hated, they doubted me. Now they look up when they mention me. I was not made for average, I was not built to fold. I came too far through the storm to let go of what I hold. While they were wasting time, I was becoming steel. This is what happens when the hunger becomes real. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built from the bottom, now I stand in glory. No shortcuts, no luck, only scars, only thunder. I kept my faith alive and that pulled me under. No longer LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. For the ones who doubted, remember my story. No plan A, no plan B. I gave my all, that is why I lead. They said I would never be anything. Now I walk like I was born to win. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. This was not luck. This was fire. No plan B. Only pressure. Only hunger. Only forward. While they were partying, I was deep in the fight, working and studying through the long cold nights. Weekend after weekend, I stayed on the grind. Big dream in my chest, tunnel vision in my mind. Nobody saw the sacrifice, nobody saw the weight. Nobody felt the pressure while I worked and stayed awake. But I stayed silent, never talking just to talk. Because real ones build in silence, then they let the results walk. They said no, they said never, but I stayed strong and got better. Talking is easy, doing is different. I stayed locked in with a hunger they could not finish. No risk, no story. Started from the bottom, now I'm coming for glory. No luck, no handouts, no borrow shine. All I had was sacrifice and a powerful line. No risk, no story. No plan A, no plan B. Just one road for me. They kept talking from the side, but they could not bury me. I was built in the fire. Now they all can see. Weekend after weekend, no rest, no break. While they wasted time, I did whatever it takes. I was building in the dark what they could never see. Step by step with faith, even when it hurt me. Haters talking far away, that is nothing new. The loudest ones usually do the least they do. So I stayed quiet, but my steps were heavy. And when the time came, my work spoke clearly. Good facing bad times, still I never folded. If you want the blue sky, then you earn it, then you hold it. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Long nights, deep scars, now I step in glory. No plan B, that was the code in me. I paid the price in silence, now the world can see. LASIFOR TRADER. LASIFOR TRADER. LASIFOR TRADER. LASIFOR TRADER. LASIFOR TRADER. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Discipline in my veins.
Fire in my soul, for the dreamers, the fighters.
Let's go! I took every loss and turned it into rocket fuel. Built my strength in the dark while they all played it cool. Pressure tried to break me, but it taught me how to fight. Now I move with a purpose and I shine through the night. I was down bad, knees close to the floor, but deep in my spirit I knew I was meant for more. Train my mind to stay calm while my vision burned bright. I don't run from the storm, I walk straight through the fight. No excuses, no fear, no retreat. Real discipline brought me back to my feet. They talk loud, but I learned how to stay steady. Now my soul stays strong and my hands stay ready. When I fall, I rise. When it's dark, I shine. I don't wait for luck, I build my life. No risk, no story, no pain, more glory. Discipline awaken the beast in me. LASIFOR TRADER, now the whole world sees. No risk, no story. This is my territory. Forging pressure, born in the fire. LASIFOR TRADER, I was built to rise higher. LASIFOR TRADER. I don't chase hype, I chase purpose and control. Build iron habits, now I'm leading my soul. Every scar that I carry got a lesson inside. Every setback I faced only sharpened my drive. still becomes a song.
No risk, no story, no pain, more glory. All that pressure only gave me more energy. LASIFOR TRADER, now the whole world sees.
No risk, no story, this is my territory. Dream with hunger, move with desire. LASIFOR TRADER, still rising higher.
Stand tall when it burns, hold strong when it hurts. Pressure builds warriors, that's how legends are formed. To the dreamers, still bleeding, to the fighters, unseen. Your pain is not the end, it's the place where you build your wings.
No risk, no story, no fear, all glory. Every scar I carry is purity. LASIFOR TRADER, this is my legacy. No risk, no story, burn it in your memory. Discipline, hunger, vision, control. LASIFOR TRADER with a warrior soul. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Built from pain, destined for glory. To the doubters and haters, thank you for the fuel. I turn that fire into something beautiful. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. When I was at zero, almost nobody showed face. Too much we got you, just fake love out of place. I kept pushing through it even when the nights got rough. But now the ones who doubted me can only watch from outside. I spent so many nights studying without rest, learning through the pain, putting myself to the test. While so many got distracted out there chasing their scene, I stayed inside the battle, building everything in silence unseen. They saw me in the shadows when the lights all faded low, when support was running thin and even time put on a show. So many walked away, only a few chose to stay. But every door they closed on me just taught me my own way. With sacrifice inside my chest and exhaustion in my eyes, I did what they call impossible in those quiet night fights. And even though I still am more, even though I still must climb, I did not come to settle, I was born to win with time. And if they turned their backs on me, I kept my eyes ahead. If they said it can't be done, I got stronger instead. I was not born to give up or live chained to their opinion. I learned the ones who doubt you never understand your vision. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Every fuck keeps pushing me, every scar still tells my glory. If life ever hits me hard, I don't run, I stand and grow. Because fear will never make history, I was born to let it show. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. There's no plan B on this road, only faith inside of me. Let the haters keep on talking, let them pray to watch me fall. I stay locked in on my purpose, I'm not breaking at all. There was only one person who stayed right by my side. That woman never failed me through the cold and through the fight. When the whole world turned away and everything went dark, her love kept lifting up my battle, lit a fire in my heart. She saw all of my scars, saw my process and my truth. Saw the heaviest nights I lived, saw the hunger of my youth. When nobody placed a bet, she was still there standing tall. That is why I carry her loyalty deep within my soul. And the market taught me how to see this life a different way, to look beyond the noise, to read the souls behind the face. Because a trader stands alone in silence, pain and doubt, and learns that in this life not everybody really counts. The market made me colder, but it never killed my soul. It taught me how to guard my energy and stay in control, to value those who stay when everything is going wrong. Because in loss you learn who's real and who was fake all along. I don't look at people now the way I did before. Now I read their silences, their actions, and much more. Because Christ never forgives and life does not forgive it too. If you don't open up your eyes, the fake ones will bury you. Let them talk, let them lie, let them say that I won't rise. I stay burning with conviction, I see through the disguise. The market shaped me well, it taught me how to see not everybody smiling at you really wants you free. Too many fake brothers, too many cardboard hugs. I learned through a couple hard blows how to read what people does. Now I walk more cold, but I also walk more clear. Because the market in this life showed me who was real here. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. If you never bleed for your dream, you never write your story. Long nights built the man I am, the pain just made me grow. And today I walk with more strength, I'm not turning back no more. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. One life, one plan only, am I still on the glory. To the haters I respond with my work and with my level. LASIFOR, no risk, no story. Long vision, short steps, no rush, but no pause.
And long NQ with 25 micros.
When I was at zero, almost nobody showed face. Too many
But I
we
think
got,
it's
it was
gonna
just fake love out of place.
Count to my stop.
I spent so many nights studying with no rush. Little by little, but solid, putting myself through the test. While a lot of people got lost, just chasing the moment, I stayed inside the battle, building in silence, fully focused. They saw me in the shadows when everything went dim, when support was running low and even time got grim. A lot of them stepped away, only a few chose to stay. But every closed door taught me how to make my own way, with sacrifice in my chest and exhaustion in my eyes. I did what they called impossible in those quiet midnight fights. And even though I still got more, even though I still must grow, I did not come to settle, I was born to take control. And if they turn their backs on me, I kept my eyes ahead. If they say you can't do it, I got stronger instead. I was not born to give up or live trapped in their opinion. I learned the ones who doubt you never understand your vision. Now LASIFOR, no risk, no story. Every fall keeps pushing me.
That's a big right candle down there.
I don't run, I rise and grow, because fear will never make history. I was born to let it show. LASIFOR, no risk, no story. There's no plan B on this road, only faith inside of me. Let the haters keep on talking, let them hope to watch me fall. I stay firm inside my purpose, I'm not breaking at all. There was only one person who stayed right by my side. That woman never failed me through the cold and through the fight. When the world turned its back, when everything got darker, love kept lifting up my battle, lit a fire in my heart. She saw all of my scars, saw my process and my truth, saw my heaviest nights and the hunger of my youth. When nobody placed a bet, she was still there standing tall. That is why I carry her loyalty deep inside my soul. When the market taught me how to see this life a different way, feet down on the ground, mind focused far away, because a trader stands alone in silence, pain and doubt, and learns that in this life not everybody really counts. The market made me colder, but it never killed my soul. It taught me how to guard my energy and stay in control, to value those who stay when everything is going wrong, because in loss you learn who's real and who was fake all along. I don't look at people now the way I did before. Now I read the silence, their actions and much more, because price never forgives and life don't forgive it too. If you don't open up your eyes, the fake ones bury you. Let them talk, let them lie, let them keep that little show. I move quiet, no big flex, no empty talk to throw. Too many fake brothers, too many cardboard hugs. A couple artists taught me how to read what people does. I wasn't made yesterday, now I know how to see. Not everybody clapping for you really wants you free. Time puts every person right where they belong in the end, and the one who learns to fire does not break, he bends. Now they watch me from a distance with that look like what happened now, when before they would not take one step or show me how. Too much noise on the stage, but weak when pressure came. I did not need to play pretend, I answered through my chains. They got stuck in all the talking, I moved straight into the action. They were speaking on a dream, I was living with direction. And it's not revenge I carry, it's memory and control. But it stings to see the real one came up from that same dark hole. To the ones who doubted my steps, they can watch me without a sound, because the ones who laughed too early never last another round. No fake shining, no loud posing, never asked the crowd for help. My answer came in silence, that's why they feel it for themselves. Oh, LASIFOR, no risk, no story. If you never bleed for your dream, you never write your story. Long nights built the man I am, pain only made me grow. And today I walk with more strength, I'm not turning back no more. LASIFOR, no risk, no story. One life, one plan, only am I still on the glory. To the haters I respond with my work and with my level. I did not come to quit, I was born to beat the pressure. Long vision, short steps, no rush but no pause. LASIFOR, no risk, no story, no plan B, only vision, only faith. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This was not love, this was fire. No plan B, only pressure, only hunger, only forward. While they were partying, I was deep in the fight, working and studying through the long cold nights. Weekend after weekend, I stayed on the grind. Big dream in my chest, tunnel vision in my mind. Nobody saw the sacrifice, nobody saw the weight. Nobody felt the pressure while I worked and stayed awake. But I stayed silent, never talking just to talk, because real ones build in silence and they let the results walk. They said no, they said never, but I stayed strong and got better. Talking is easy, doing is different. I stay locked in with a hunger they could not finish.
LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Started from the bottom, now I'm coming for glory. No love, no handouts, no borrow shine. All I had was sacrifice and a powerful mind. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story, no plan A, no plan B. Just one roll for me. They kept talking from the side, but they could not bury me. I was built in the fire. Now they all can see. Now they all can see. Weekend after weekend, no rest, no break. While they wasted time, I did whatever it takes. I was building in the dark, what they could never see. Step by step with faith, even when it hurt me. Haters talk from far away, that is nothing new. The loudest ones usually do the least they do. So I stayed quiet, but my steps were heavy. And when the time came, my work spoke clearly. Good face in bad times, still I never folded. If you want the blue sky, then you earn it, then you hold it. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Long nights, deep scars. Now I step in glory. No plan B, that was the code in me. I paid the price in silence. Now the world can see LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. No plan A, no plan B. Just one roll for me. They kept talking from the side, but they could not bury me. Now they all can see. Now they all can see.
LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. It was not luck, it was endurance. It was falling down and rising again. It was looking fear in the face and saying, you will not stop me today. So many sleepless nights, staring at the chart in silence, with my soul torn into pieces, but my mind still full of guidance. While others gave up early, I kept grinding through the pain, because the dream I carry deeply is not something bought overnight. I have felt defeat breathing right behind my neck. I have doubted my own strength when the wreck kept bringing pressure, but inside my chest there is a fire that never lies. I was built to keep on fighting, even when this life gets harder. And if I fall, I rise again. If I lose today, tomorrow I come back with faith. I did not come this far just to watch myself break. My destiny is not for sale, because I fear mistakes. I will not give up, even if it hurts to keep going. Even if the world keeps telling me that I will never make it, I keep fighting in silence, with my soul still burning bright, because I know one day it will be real. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. If there is no battle, there is no glory. Every fall keeps riding me, every scar becomes my memory. I stay solid, I stay breathing with my head always held high, because I know one day it will be real. Trading taught me self-control is worth much more than noise. It is not the impulsive one who wins, it is the one who holds the course. Every stop was a lesson, every arrow a warning sign. Every candle kept shaping more patience, more strength, more discipline. It is not about lucky moments or a sudden miracle. It is discipline in the shadows when nobody sees the sacrifice. It is moving on when you are broken, when everything turns dark, saying I have not won yet, but I will not fall apart. And if I fall, I rise again. If it starts screaming, I silence it with faith. I did not come this far just to watch myself break. I know very well that what is mine is on its way. I will not give up, even if it hurts to keep going. Even if the world keeps telling me that I will never make it, I keep fighting in silence, with my soul still burning bright, because I know one day it will be real. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. If there's no battle, there is no glory. Every fall keeps riding me, every scar because my memory. I stay solid, I stay breathing with my head always held high, because I know It does not matter how many times I have to start from zero. If the dream is still alive, I stay standing at the table. Let them talk, the ones who do not know the weight of every fall. I keep building what will one day completely change my life. It is not only about money, it is about who I become through the process. Stronger, wiser, colder in the storm, closer to the day when my promise is fully born. I will not give up. I have learned how to endure. Every hidden tear inside me taught me how to survive. I keep fighting in silence, but my faith is still alive, because I know one day it will be real. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. That is the code behind my story. I do not bend, I do not break. I turn all my pain into glory. With a steady heart, with a fully focused mind, I still believe it. One day it will be real. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. I am still here, still standing, still fighting. And that day will come. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This is not easy money. This is mental warfare. This is discipline. This is pain. This is pressure. They sold you the dream that trading makes you rich overnight. That pushing a couple buttons somehow makes your future bright. But nobody says the truth, nobody tells the cost. That this game will test your soul and make you feel completely lost. This is not fast money, that's a fantasy they sell. This is the hardest way to try to build your life up well, because the winner isn't loud and the winner isn't hype. It's the one who controls emotions when the pressure starts to bite. A lot of people into greed, very few survive the pain. Everybody wants the millions, very few can take the strain. Seeing red inside your account and still standing with control. That takes something deep inside you, that takes power in your soul. This is not just about winning trades, it's about not breaking when everything shakes. It's about falling, adjusting, standing tall, looking fear in the face and not running at all. It's not easy, not a game, not luck, not glory. This thing burns inside your mind and rewrites your story. Trading is not a shortcut, it's pressure, pain and worry. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. It's not easy, not quick cash, not a road to easy money. It's losing, learning, rising up when life turns ugly. If you can't survive the storm, you will never touch the glory. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. There are nights you never sleep, going over every trade, asking yourself in silence if the sacrifice is worth what's paid. While the world is out distracted, you are fighting with your brain, because the hardest enemy is not the chart, it's what you train. The market shows no mercy, it does not care how you feel. If you move out of emotion, it will punish what is real. And learning to stay humble when your ego wants to fly, that's the line that separates the wise from those who blow and cry. This is not about a Rolex, not a car, not flashy scenes. This is about becoming stronger, far beyond material dreams. It's about owning every mistake, respecting every star, understanding discipline will take you farther than you are. This is not for weak minds, not for people chasing shine without the grind. Here you bleed in silence, here you build in pain. Every loss you truly study is a step not all in vain. It's not easy, not a game, not luck, not glory. This thing burns inside your mind and rewrites your story. Trading is not a shortcut, it's pressure, pain and worry. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. It's not easy, not quick cash, not a road to easy money. It's losing, learning, rising up when life turns ugly. If you can't survive the storm, you will never touch the glory. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Trading is not LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. But without control, there is no glory. Discipline, patience, process. Cold mind in the middle of the stress. Everybody wants in, everybody wants to win, but only if you know where survival begins. It is not about the trade that looks the most wild. It is about protecting your account through every trial. I do not go all in from hunger or emotion. I do not place trades under pressure or commotion. Every entry has rules, every move has a plan, because the market shows no mercy to an undisciplined man. Stop, loss at risk, fully defined. If I do not see the edge, I stay off the line. Doing more does not mean doing it right. Sometimes real power is waiting for the fight. One bad trade when I break my vision. I protect the ammo before any decision, because the one who lasts is the one who wins. This is cold blood focus, this is mental discipline. Risk management, that is the truth. What keeps you alive when the market gets cruel? Psycho trading, mental control, so you do not fall apart when it takes its toll. LASIFOR TRADER, locked on the mission, no risk, no story.
Bravo, dice que esto es como unos 55 minutos.
Dale, perfecto.
Para que tenga una idea ahí.
Dale.
Ahí está.
Dale, mejor momento.
If it miss my setup, I just stay away. I would rather lose small than revenge the pain, because one reckless move can destroy your name. 1%, 2%, that is enough. Never risk more than what makes you tough. Do not let ego lead, let the system decide, because the reckless always burn from inside. Break even moves, partials, no one waiting to defend. You must know how to exit, not just how to enter and pretend. Profit looks good, but lasting looks better, because winning means nothing if you cannot hold together. Psycho trading is not just learning to hold it, is knowing when to stop and still stay bold. Not letting fear take over your sight, not letting greed drag you out of what is right. If I lose one, I do not chase the mistake. If I win two, I do not think I am vague, because the market destroys the proud and blind and rewards the disciplined, calm, sharpen mind. Breathing deep, come back to the plan. One candle does not define who I am. The hardest battle is never the chart. It lives in your head, in your chest, in your heart. It is not always attack, sometimes defend. The smart trader knows when to pause and bend. Sometimes not trading is the strongest play, because protecting the account is winning anyway. Psycho trading in the command. When the chart brings pressure, I still take my stand. This is not luck, this is not a guess. This is a trained mind and a real market stress. Risk management, that is the truth. What keeps you alive when the market gets brutal and rude? Psycho trading, mental control, so you do not collapse when it comes for your soul. LASIFOR TRADER, lock on the mission, no risk, no story, but with precision. Discipline high, focus on point, mind fully armored, every piece in the joint. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Without a strong mind, there is no victory. First the mindset, then protect, then execute, then collect. Living the vision, I used to see it in my mind. Now I'm standing in it. What once felt distant now feels real. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. I used to hold this vision in the dark alone, when nothing in my hands could prove where I was going. I carried it through losses, through silence and delay, through nights where all I had was faith to keep me in the race. There were days it felt too far to ever touch, like the dream was real but life was asking too much. Still I kept moving even when the road stayed cold, because something in my chest refused to let it go. And now I'm standing in pieces of what I used to see. Not all of it completed, but enough to know it's really me. Enough to feel the shift from hope into form, from carrying a vision to living through the storm. It didn't come easy, it didn't come can feel what I once could only imagine. The vision is no longer far. I'm living inside and living a vision. That's where I am, walking through the things I once held in my hands. Living a vision. After all the pain, after all the nights I had to trust the unseen way. Living a vision. Not perfect but true, built from the pressure and everything I went through. Living a vision. That's the gift I earned. What once lived in my soul now lives in the world. It feels different when the thing you fought for starts to breathe. When what once was invisible begins to stand in front of you. Not because it all arrived in some dramatic wave, but because you stayed long enough to see what discipline creates. Now when I look back, I don't just see the pain, I see the bricks it laid, I see what it gave. Every hard season carved something I can stand on now. Every closed door made me stronger somehow. So this is not just victory, this is alignment. This is the outside finally matching what lived inside me. And that kind of moment doesn't come from chance. It comes from holding vision when life doesn't advance. It didn't come easy, it didn't come fast, but it came through everything I was willing to outlast. And now I can feel what I once could only imagine. The vision is no longer far. I'm living inside and living a vision. Oh, that's where I am, walking through the things I once held in my hands. Living a vision. After all the pain, after all the nights I had to trust the unseen way. Living a vision. Not perfect but true, built from the pressure and everything I went through. Living a vision. That's the gift I earned. What once lived in my soul now lives in the world. This is what happens when you don't let go too soon, when you stay through the dark long enough for the light to take shape. Because the vision was never just a dream, it was a future waiting for me to become the person who could hold it. Living a vision, now I understand. It was never about getting lucky, it was about becoming the man. Living a vision, with peace in my chest, not because the road was easy, but because I gave it my best. Living a vision, that's the final truth. Everything I carried in silence is finally breaking through. Living a vision, write it in the soul, cause what you protect with discipline can one day become your world. What I once prayed for is now part of my life. Not all at once, but enough to know it was worth the fight. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Funded or finished, no excuses, no noise, no room to lie to myself. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. I reached the point where I couldn't keep moving the same. Either I leveled my mind or got swallowed by the pain. It wasn't just about passing the test or chasing capital. It was deciding if I was really built for this level at all. Yeah, funded or finished, that's how clear it became. Because staying with the same mistakes would've made me fade. I couldn't trade like nothing carried weight, when I knew my future was asking me to elevate. It wasn't about luck or one perfect day, it was about holding myself when the pressure changed. Because funded doesn't come just from knowing where to enter, it comes when your mind learns how to hold through the weather. No giving trades away, no chasing emotion, no letting fear take over the button. Either I rose in level or I drowned right there. And I understood this time, it all depended on me. Funded or finished, that was the line. Leave the chaos behind, to lose what could be mine. Funded or finished, mind or collapse, discipline or ruin inside the act. Funded or finished, it wasn't just a result, it was who I would become when the weight got hard enough. Funded or finished, write it in the skin. Because sometimes the next level demands you stop being who you've been. There were days when pressure tried to cloud the red, tried to make me think this was too much for me. But I learned that line is where the truth appears, between the one who wants to win and the one who's willing to change through fear. Funded is not a badge, funded is control. It's knowing when not to enter, it's protecting the goal. It's swallowing the impulse when anxiety gets loud, and still standing tall when the soul feels worn out. Because finish doesn't always mean the count breaks down. Sometimes it means you stay trapped in the same old ground. And I didn't come this far just to die in that place. I came to cross the line that used to break my frame. No giving trays away, no chasing emotion, no letting fear take over the button. Either I rose and level or I drowned right there. And I understood this time it all depended on me. Funded or finished, that was the line. Leave the chaos behind, to lose what could be mine. Funded or finished, mind or collapse, discipline or ruin inside the act. Funded or finished, it wasn't just a result, it was who I would become when the weight got hard enough. Funded or finished, yeah. Write it in the skin. Because sometimes the next level demands you stop being who you've been. Not every ending looks like a collapse. Sometimes it looks like staying the same and changing nothing. And not every funny moment starts with money. Sometimes it starts when you finally master what used to master you inside. Funded or finished, now I know it well. The real test was never just the market, it was me as well. With more calm and control, not letting urgency destroy my soul. Funded or finished, that was the choice. Either I stayed the same or rose with a different voice. Funded or finished, that was the truth. The next level didn't ask me for luck, it asked for identity. It was never just about being funded, it was about becoming someone who could hold it. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Green days don't make legends. Green days feel good, but they don't build everything. Legends are not made when it's easy. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Yeah. Green days feel good, I won't lie. They light the room and lift the mind. They make the work feel worth the pain, like all the pressure finally changed. But green days never taught me how to stay. They never showed me how to hold through weight. They never forced me to face who I was when things got dark and there was no applause. Because winning feels clean when the chart goes your way, but comfort doesn't always shake the frame. And I learned that growth gets written in a harder place, where pressure is the test and test your faith. Green can reward, green can restore, but it doesn't always reveal what you're really built for. That happens deeper, that happens when the shine disappears and you still don't bend. Green days don't make legends, they only show the light. Legends are built in the dark, when it's hard to keep the fire alive. Green days don't make legends, not by themselves alone, because glory doesn't teach you how to hold your soul. Green days don't make legends, that's the truth I know. It's the hard days that shape you into something gold. I've had green days where everything clicked, where timing felt clean and the entries hit. And yes, those moments matter too, but they didn't build the deepest truth. The deepest truth was born when I stayed, when the screen went cold and the winds went away. When I had to decide if I was still the same, without the numbers backing up my name. That's when character starts to speak. Now when you're up, but when you're weak. Now when the room is full of praise, but when you keep standing through the gray. Green can reward, green can really built for. That happens deeper, that happens when the shine disappears and you still don't bend. Green days don't make legends, they only show the light. Legends are built in the dark, when it's hard to keep the fire alive. Green days don't make legends, not by themselves alone, because glory doesn't teach you how to hold your soul. Green days don't make legends, that's the truth I know. It's the hard days that shape you into something gold. Anyone can smile when the chart is green, anyone can talk big when the pressure leaves, but the ones who become something real are the ones who keep going when the color changes. Green days don't make legends, now I see it clear. The best parts of me when I build here. Green days don't make legends, they may celebrate the climb, but the climb itself was built in harder times. Green days don't make legends, write it in the soul, because easy moments never had full control. Green days don't make legends, the code I know, it's what you survive in silence that makes your story whole. Green days show results, hard days build a person who can carry them. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Hold the vision, hold the vision, even if you can't see it fully yet. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Yeah, I hold the vision even when the present doesn't show it, even through great days when the road feels broken, because not everything great is born with a clear shape. Sometimes it lives inside first before it takes its place. There were moments when it all felt far away, when all the effort gave me nothing I could wait. But I learned that vision doesn't always come to shout. Sometimes it only asks that you don't let it drown. This isn't blind faith, it's memory of what I've survived. It's knowing what I carry didn't come here just to die. It's looking past the hit, past what today can show, and still walking forward while I become what I know. Now everything reveals itself when you want it to appear. Some things only open up when you decide to believe. And even if the view right now doesn't say it's close at hand, I still hold the vision, because I know it's going to land. Hold the vision, even if you can't see the end, even if the present looks nothing like what you planned. Hold a vision with control in your mind, because the one who lets it go too soon leaves direction behind. Hold a vision, even when the noise gets loud, because a lot of great things take time before they come around. Hold a vision, that became my truth. Keep believing in silence until it starts becoming real for you. Vision doesn't always feel comfortable or clear. Sometimes it weighs more than any pressure or fear, cause it asks you to keep moving when there's nothing yet to show, and protect inside what hasn't fully grown. But that's also where the real ones separate from the ones who wanted glory with no process to create it. Because holding the vision is not just saying I can, and staying disciplined when nobody sees you advance. That's why I don't panic if it doesn't come fast. I know what has roots doesn't always rise at once. What matters is not selling what was born with truth, just because impatience tries to bargain with you. Not everything reveals itself when you want it to appear. Some things only open up when you decide to believe. And even if the view right now doesn't say it's close at hand, I still hold the vision, because I know it's going to last. Hold the vision, even if you can't see the end, even if the present looks nothing like what you planned. Hold the vision with control in your mind, because the one who lets it go too soon leave direction behind. Hold the vision, even when the noise gets loud, because a lot of great things take time before they come around. Hold a vision that became my truth. Keep believing in silence until it starts becoming real for you. Vision does not always need noise. It needs endurance. It needs focus. It needs staying power. Because what is born great often begins invisible. And only the one who refuses to quit gets to see it whole. Now I understand a lot of what I live today was born when no one else could understand. With patience in the soul, not letting doubt come in and take control. Write it in the skin, because before it becomes real, it first has to live within. Don't let go of the vision just because it doesn't have a full shape yet. Some great truths take time to show themselves. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. One day it clicks. One day it clicks. Not all at once, but enough to change everything. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. For the longest time it felt like noise in my head. Same chart, same lesson, same fear, same red. I kept showing up even when it felt blind, trying to build order out of a war. In my mind there were nights I thought I was missing the key, like maybe this game was not meant for me. But I stayed with the process, I stayed with the pain, and little by little something started to change. It wasn't one more moment, not some lightning in the sky. It was repetition turning confusion into sight. One lesson on another, one scar into one shift, until one day I felt it, something clicked. Not perfection, not ease, just a different kind of clarity. Not because the game changed, but because I did. And one quiet day, it clicked. One day it clicked. One day you see all the pain was shaping what you needed to be. One day it clicked. The fog starts to clear, and the thing that once broke you starts turning into skill. One day it clicks. Not fast, not free, but earned through the weight of consistency. One day it clicks. That's how it begins, when discipline and truth finally settle in. I stopped trying to force what wasn't ready to land. Stopped trying to rush what needed time in my hands. I stopped looking for secrets outside of my frame, and started building sharper habits through the strain. That's when I noticed the mind felt more still. Less war in my chest, more trust in the skill. The chart looked the same, but I saw it more clean, because the biggest shift that happened in me. And maybe that's what nobody tells at the start, that the breakthrough comes slowly and works through the heart. That it's not one big win that suddenly lifts. It's becoming the person for whom the game clicks. Not perfection, not ease, just a different kind of clarity. Not because the game changed, but because I did. In one quiet day, it clicked. One day it clicked. One day you see all the pain was shaping what you needed to be. One day it clicked. The fog starts to clear, and the thing that once broke you starts turning into skill. One day it clicked. Not fast, not free, but earned through the weight of consistency. One day it clicks. That's how it begins, when discipline and truth finally settle in. Yeah. It doesn't click because you beg for it. It clicks because you stayed long enough to become ready for it. That's the shift, not luck, not hype, alignment. One day it clicks. Now I understand it was never about shortcuts. It was about becoming the man. Through pressure and pain, through showing up again and again and again. One day it clicks. Write it in the soul, because what once felt broken can become a kind of gold. That's the truth I live. Sometimes the greatest moment is when the mind finally gets quiet enough to listen. It didn't happen overnight.
It happened after enough nights that I stopped being the same person. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Built for the storm. I wasn't made for easy days. I was made for the storm. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Yeah. I wasn't built in calm on roads with no pressure. I was shaped under gray skies with fire in my chest forever. When the wind turned against me and everything wanted to fall, that's where I truly learned how to hold through it all. It wasn't the soft days that gave me my frame. It was the heavy nights and the heat in my brain. Every hit kept refining what lived inside, until what once was fear turned into strength I could guide. Because when chaos comes, not everybody can stay. A lot of people talk greatness but fold in the rain. I learned not to run when the storm walked in. I learned how to stay grounded when the sky went dim. Rain above me, wind all around, but something in me would not break down. The storm came to show me who I am, and I stayed standing without letting go of who I am. I was built for the storm, for the days under pressure, to keep my eyes forward even when my heart had to tremble. I was built for the storm, to carry the weight for real, because everything that hurt me left me mentally stronger still. I was built for the storm. Now I finally see what used to scare me now finds me on my feet. I'm not afraid anymore of the days when everything tightens. I know that's where the soul gets sharpened and the vision gets brighter. Because pain, if it doesn't break, you can realign what's inside. And pressure, if it doesn't crush, you can leave you stronger in the fight. I'm not saying it was easier, that the weight felt light. I'm saying I learned to carry it without losing sight. And that kind of strength can't be bought or borrowed. It's built when you keep walking through a break in tomorrow. Now when the sky gets dark, I don't fall into confusion. I breathe, refocus and protect my conviction, because I was born to seasons where comfort didn't stay. And that's why chaos no longer knows how to own my lane. Rain above me, wind all around, but something in me would not break down. The storm came to show me who I am, and I stayed standing without letting go of who I am. I was built for the storm, for the days under pressure, to keep my eyes forward even when my heart had to tremble. I was built for the storm, to carry the weight for real, because everything that hurt me left me mentally stronger still. I was built for the storm. Now I finally see what used to scare me now finds me on my feet. The storm does not always come to destroy you. Sometimes it comes to reveal whether you truly know how to endure. And if you keep going when everything gets heavy, when there's no clarity and no voice, you find out there's something in you stronger than fear. I was built for the storm. That's my reality. I didn't come here asking for soft roads or false peace. I was built for the storm, to fight with control without letting chaos take command of my soul. I was built for the storm, write it in my skin, because everything that tried to break me ended up making me stand stronger within. Not everybody hopes when the sky starts changing, but some people were built for that. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story.
loss won't end me. This loss hurt me, but it won't finish me. It hit hard, but I'm still here. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. This loss hit deep, I won't pretend. It shook my chest, it bent my head. For a moment, it felt heavier than I could hold. Like all my fire was starting to go cold. I've been in that silence after things fall apart. When the screen goes dim and it reaches the heart. When doubt walks in like it owns the room and tries to convince you this is where dreams lose. But I know too much now to let one moment decide who I am, what I carry, or how I survive. Because one red day can bruise the skin, but it doesn't get the right to define what's within. It hurt me, but it taught me too. It shook me, but it didn't move the part of me that still believes, that still stands up, and still won't leave. This loss won't end me. It won't write my name. It may have cut deep, but it won't take the flame. This loss won't end me. I'm still breathing through, still learning, still rising, still becoming something true. This loss won't end me. That's the line I keep, because pain may visit, but it doesn't get to keep me. I used to let losses crawl into my identity, like every bad result was a sentence over me. But I've seen what that thinking can do to the mind. It turns one hard chapter into a permanent decline. Now I let the pain speak, but not take control. I let it reveal, but not bury the soul. Because there's a difference between learning from the fall and building a home inside the damage of it all. And I refuse to stay broken in a place I was meant to cross. I refuse to let my future be written by one loss. The lesson can stay, the scar can remain, but I'm still moving forward with purpose through the pain. It hurt me, but it taught me too. It shook me, but it didn't move the part of me that still believes, that still stands up and still won't leave. This loss won't end me. It won't write my name. It may have cut deep, but it won't take the flame. This loss won't end me. I'm still breathing through, still learning, still rising, still becoming something true. This loss won't end me. That's the line I keep, because pain may visit, but it doesn't get to keep me. Not every loss is there to stop you. Some are there to strip you clean, to show you what was fragile and what was real underneath. And maybe that's the shift, maybe that's the key. This loss was not my ending, it was part of what shaped me. This loss won't end me. Now I know it well. I've been through enough fire not to feel one more hell. This loss won't end me. It won't shut the door. I still got vision, I've still got more. This loss won't end me. That's my truth tonight. I may be bruised, but I still know how to fight. This loss won't end me. Write it in my soul, because the ones who rise again don't let one fall take control. The loss was real, the pain was real, but so am I. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. The comeback trade.
didn't come back the same. I came back colder, clearer, stronger. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Yeah. I came back after the hit, but not the way I was before. I brought a different mindset, a different way to see it all. Noise doesn't move me now, pressure doesn't break my frame. I carry scars that turn into vision through the pain. There were nights it looked like I would never return, moments when even my soul felt too tired to burn. But something deep inside me never wanted to quit. And from the bottom of the ruin, I learned how to breathe again. I didn't come back from pride or just to prove a point. I came back because I knew I still had something to build. Because the real comeback isn't rushing to redeem, it's returning cleaner, knowing what you really mean. I came back without rage, I came back with control. I came back with a mind stronger than the pain. I know I didn't come for revenge, I came to execute. I came to prove to myself that I know how to come through. This is the comeback trade, the return to the level after touching the bottom and choosing belief again. This is the comeback trade, more solid, more real, with less emotion and much stronger mental steel. This is the comeback trade, not born from ego's flame, but from the man who survived the fire and change. This is the comeback trade, write it in the skin, because I didn't come back faster, I came back better than I've been. Now when I look at the chart, I don't see a threat, I see another chance to show who I become instead. The discipline I planted in my darkest days is now the ground beneath my most stable ways. Every loss left me with a piece of truth to keep, every mistake kept sharpening what runs deep. That's why this return was never born from illusion, it came from turning pain into direction and conclusion. I'm not trying to impress, I'm not trying to look strong, I just wanna stay centered when it's time to move on. Because strongest comeback doesn't always make noise, sometimes it comes in silence, but it comes with poise. I came back without rage, I came back with control. I came back with a mind stronger than the pain. I know I didn't come for revenge, I came to execute. I came to prove to myself that I know how to come through. This is the comeback trade, the return to the level after touching the bottom and choosing belief again. This is the comeback trade, more solid, more real, with less emotion and much stronger mental steel. This is the comeback trade, not born from ego's flame, but from the man who survived the fire and change. This is the comeback trade, write it in the skin, because I didn't come back faster, I came back better than I've been. A comeback is not luck, it's resistance with memory. It's stepping back in without carrying the same identity. It's learning from pain without living chained to it. It's looking at the past without falling back into it. This is the comeback trade. Now I finally know everything that hurt me also taught me how to grow. This is the comeback trade, with more peace inside, not letting fear take control of what drives me. If I return to the fight, it's to do it right, with a cleaner mind and more truth inside. This is the comeback trade, that's my evolution. I didn't come back just to try again. I came back to fulfill the mission. Not everyone who comes back returns as the same person. Some come back as something far more serious. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. After hours, when everything slows down, my mind stays on. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. After hours, when the world starts losing pace, my mind stays focused, still locked into the race. Not from empty anxiety, not from fear letting go, but because
because there's a vision in me that still wants to grow. There's something in these hours that makes everything more real. Without the outside noise, without pressure, I didn't choose to feel. Just me, my thoughts, the chart, and my intention. Building in silence, another level of direction. Because when the noise goes down, the truth starts talking back. Whether you're doing it from impulse or because your vision's intact. And I already passed that phase of trying to prove. Now after hours, I'm just trying to sharpen how I move. Yeah, everything quiet, I stay the same. Looking ahead with a focused brain. It's not insomnia, it's vision alive. Still refining the way I drive. After hours mindset, cold and real. When the noise fades out and clarity is all I feel. After hours mindset, hungry to evolve, with no need for applause to keep moving on. After hours mindset, that's what built me up. Cause when nobody's watching, you find out who you are. After hours mindset, that's my sign. Keep building in silence until I reach a higher line. Not every transformation happens under the sun. Some are born late when control is stronger. And the noise is gone in those hours when the city feels like it stands still. Something inside me is still chasing something real. I learned that the deepest progress doesn't always be. It doesn't need a scene or borrowed energy. Just consistency, awareness, presence, and direction. Because real growth doesn't always come with big attention. Yeah. That's why I respect these quiet hours so much. Because in them I've thought, decided, and held my ground enough. I didn't just improve as a trader in that time. I built the kind of mind that now lives inside. Everything quiet, I stay the same. Looking ahead with a focused brain. It's not insomnia, it's vision alive. Still refining the way I drive. After hours mindset, cold and real. When the noise fades out and clarity is all I feel. After hours mindset, hungry to evolve, with no need for applause to keep moving on. After hours mindset, that's what built me up. Cause when nobody's watching, you find out who you are. After hours mindset, that's my sign. Keep building in silence until I reach a higher line. After hours, there's no character left. No show, no image. Only the mind, the vision, and the truth. And that's where the things that carry real weight begin to form. After hours mindset, now I really know a lot of what I carry today was built when no one showed. After hours mindset, with more peace and control, not letting outside noise get close to my soul. If the world rests, I stay in my lane. Because not every step forward needs a spotlight on its name. After hours mindset, ride it in my voice, the quietest hours also built the strongest part of me. When the noise fades out, truth takes up space. And in those hours, destinies get built too. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. The trader's screen. One screen, 1,000 thoughts, levels, pressure, vision. The trader's screen. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Yeah. The trader screen lights up more than the room. It holds the pressure, the focus, the truth. Candles moving like they know what I feel. Lines on the chart, but the battle is real. I spent long nights staring into that glow, watching price move while my mind stayed low. And somehow inside that cold, bright frame, I kept finding lessons hidden in the game. It's not just a screen, it's a test of control, a mirror of patience, a weight on the soul. Because every decision gets reflected there, every doubt, every edge, every moment
sharp eyes, truth lives in real time. One screen, one mind, one wrong move can shift the night. The trader's screen, that's where I've been. Reading the market while reading within. The trader's screen, right in the dark, showing the levels and showing the heart. The trader's screen, more than it seems, it holds the pressure behind the dreams. The trader's screen, that's where I grew, learning the market and learning me too. I've seen hope rise and collapse in that light, seen confidence build and then lose the fight, seen one clean setup bring peace to the room, one bad decision bring tension too soon. The screen never lies, it just shows what is there, but the way that I read it depends on my stare. If my mind is chaotic, I distort what I see. If I'm centered and clear, the truth comes to me. That's why I respect that bright late night frame, because it never promised comfort, only the game. And over time I learned it wasn't only about price, it was about who I became under that light. Oh, cold light, sharp eyes, truth lives in real time. One screen, one mind, one wrong move can shift the night. The trader's screen, that's where I've been. Reading the market while reading within. The trader's screen, right in the dark, showing the levels and showing the heart. The trader's screen, more than it seems, it holds the pressure behind the dreams. The trader's screen, that's where I grew, learning the market and learning me too. It's not just pixels, it's pattern, pressure, and truth. It's the place where emotion either gets mastered or exposed, because the screen can show you price, but it can also show you yourself if you stay long enough to really look. The trader's screen, now I understand, it never just showed me levels, it shaped my hands. The trader's screen, it sharpened my sight through every long session and every hard night. The trader's screen, that's part of my code, a place where focus and discipline grow. The trader's screen, write it in the glow. Some of the deepest truths I learned came from staring into that cold window. It was never just a screen, it was a place where I met pressure, truth, and myself. LASIFOR TRADER, no, it's no story. Candle by candle, step by step, no shortcuts, no fake noise. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Candle by candle, I started understanding the road, that not everything is conquered in one explosive moment alone. Sometimes progress doesn't shout, doesn't make a scene. It moves in silence, but it changes everything underneath. I wanted to rush so many times, wanted to arrive at once, but the market taught me speed alone won't make you strong. The one who wants to last learns how to build it slow, with discipline in the mind and patience in the soul. Every candle was a lesson, every close a sign, every mistake a truth that forced me to refine. And that's how I began to see that progress doesn't always show, but if you stay steady long enough, something deeper starts to grow. No rushing, no force, no trying to take everything at once, because the biggest fire also began as a quiet spark no one could understand. Candle by candle, it's how I was built. No noise in the process, but I
quit. Candle by candle, with focused sight, learning that greatness also starts small and quiet. Candle by candle, without trying to perform, because real progress doesn't always need to roar. Candle by candle, that's how I learned that true greatness is also something earned in turn. There wasn't one trait that changed the whole story. It was hundreds of moments shaping memory and direction for me. It wasn't one perfect day or one ideal week. It was showing up again with discipline underneath. Because there's something powerful in growing without panic, and letting the process do what it was meant to manage, and not measuring your work by one result alone, but by how much you've changed in the way you hold your own. And now I understand candles don't only mark price, they also mark the person you become inside. If you learn to read them without anxiety or illusion, they end up teaching you more than just execution. No rushing, no force, no trying to take everything at once, because the biggest fire also began as a quiet spark no one could understand. Candle by candle, that's how I was built. No noise in the process, but I never quit. Candle by candle, with focused sight, learning that greatness also starts small and quiet. Candle by candle, without trying to perform, because real progress doesn't always need to roar. Candle by candle, that's how I learned that true greatness is also something earned in turn. Not everything strong begins with impact. Not every destiny opens all at once. Some things are built slowly, so they can truly last. And maybe that was the lesson that I didn't need to explode. I just needed to keep going and learn how to evolve. Candle by candle, now I can see what looked small at first was still building me. Candle by candle, with more calm and control, not letting impatience take over my soul. Candle by candle, that was the sign. Everything that carries weight in me started over time. Candle by candle, write it in the skin, because even the biggest stories begin in one small level within. Not everything is one in one hit. Some lives are built candle by candle. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. All eyes on Nasdaq. All eyes on Nasdaq. Screen lit. Pulse up. Focus lock. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Yeah, all eyes on Nasdaq. Every candle gets respect. Every move on the screen can shift the next step. The room stays still, but the tension keeps rising, because one clean moment can change the whole time. And there's a certain kind of pressure when the levels get close, when the market starts breathing and nobody really knows. It's when the mind gets tested, that's when the vision speaks, when the setup is alive and the focus has to leave. No room for hesitation when the heat gets loud. No space for ego when the price starts breaking out. It's just me and the chart and the late night stare. All eyes on Nasdaq and the truth hanging there. Price move, heart pounds, screen glows, no sound, mind sharp, hands ready. When Nasdaq moves, you better be steady. All eyes on Nasdaq, that's the zone I know, where the pressure climbs and the focus gets cold. All eyes on Nasdaq, every move feels alive, where one clean entry can shift the whole night. All eyes on Nasdaq, no room for disguise, just levels, time and discipline and tired eyes. All eyes on Nasdaq, that's where I stay, locked in with the market while the whole world fades. fades away. I've seen nights with one move change the whole tone, where the market turned wild and the weak got exposed. And I learned that when all the attention hits the screen, you either stay composed or you lose what you mean. Because Nasdaq doesn't care about nerves or pride, it moves with force whether you're ready or not inside. So I had to build a mind that could hold a flame, read the movement clearly and still stay sane. That's what these moments taught me under pressure. And like that, execution gets cleaner when the focus gets tight. And when all eyes are on it, I don't need to impress, I just need to read the truth and move with intent. Price moves, heart pounds, screen glows, no sound, mind sharp, hands ready. When Nasdaq moves, you better be steady. All eyes on Nasdaq, that's the zone I know, where the pressure climbs and the focus gets cold. All eyes on Nasdaq, every move feels alive, where one clean entry can shift the whole night. All eyes on Nasdaq, no room for disguise, just levels, time and discipline and tired eyes. All eyes on Nasdaq, that's where I stay, locked in with the market while the whole world fades away. When all eyes on the screen, you find out what's real. Not what you say, not what you claim, but you can actually hold. When the price starts moving, the pressure reveals. Nasdaq is loud in its own way. If your mind is not ready, it will show you. All eyes on Nasdaq. Now I know the feel that makes attention, discipline, and staying still. All eyes on Nasdaq. I learned to read the storm without letting pressure twist my form. All eyes on Nasdaq. That's part of my code, staying sharp when the levels start to explode. On Nasdaq. Write it in the light. Some of the hardest truths I learned came with the screen glowing bright. When the room goes silent and all eyes hit the chart, you find out what your focus is worth. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Midnight, screen glowing, mind cold, execution. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Midnight, I'm still reading every move. City asleep while I'm measuring the truth. No applause, no noise, no distraction in sight. Just the chart breathing and my focus in the night. The screen lights up what most people never see, that behind a good trade there's control and clarity. It's not about entering from pressure or speed, it's about executing with precision. When you read at this hour, mistakes can weigh a little more, because fatigue tries to blur what you're looking for. But if the mind stays steady and knows how to wait, the night can also reward the ones who stay awake. Steady pulse, cold eyes, everything's silent but the focus stays alive. Opportunity doesn't always speak, sometimes it shows up when the whole world goes weak. Midnight execution, cold and real when the body slows down but the vision is still still. Midnight execution, no room to hesitate, just a clean red and the right time to take. Midnight execution, no show, no fear, just discipline alive in the dark atmosphere. Midnight execution, that's where I learned some of my strongest decisions were made when the outside world disappeared. Not every strong setup arrives with the sun. Some are born late with fatigue still hanging on. And that's where you see the difference in the game between the one who acts from pressure and the one who reads with aim. Because the midnight hours don't forgive illusion. If you're not centered, they expose confusion. But if you enter with calm, with structure, with control, The night becomes a part of how you shape the soul. I've seen how these hours sharpen what you see, forcing you to move with stronger intention and clarity. You cannot waste energy, you cannot click for relief, because at this hour every choice cuts deep. Steady pulse, cold eyes, everything silent, but the focus stays alive. Opportunity doesn't always speak, sometimes it shows up when the whole world goes weak. Midnight execution, cold and real when the body slows down, but the vision is still still. Midnight execution, no room to hesitate, just a clean red and the right time to take. Midnight execution, no show, no fear, just discipline alive in the dark atmosphere. Midnight execution, that's where I learned some of my strongest decisions were made when the outside world disappeared. Midnight gives nothing away. It asks for presence, it asks for calm, it asks for truth. Because when everything is quiet, you can't hide behind noise anymore. All that's left is your mind, your red, and your execution. Midnight execution, now I understand. These hours taught me how to act with steadier hands. Midnight execution, cleaner and more still, less emotion and a sharper will. If the moment shows up, I'll know how to respond without letting fatigue take what I built upon. Midnight execution, write it in the skin. Some of my most serious entries were born when the clock got thin. The night lowers the noise, and when the noise gets low, execution speaks. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Can't sleep, future's open. Can't sleep, future's open. Mind racing, charts glowing. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Yeah. Can't sleep, future's open. Screen light on my face. Yeah. Midnight in the room, but my mind won't slow its pace. Yeah. Candles moving quietly, levels calling out while the city falls asleep. I'm awake inside the doubt. There's a strange kind of tension when the world goes still, when the body wants rest but the mind wants skill. Every tick feels louder in the silence of the night, like the market has a voice when the room loses light. I've had nights like this too many times to count, half in exhaustion, half locked into the route. Because when the vision's big, sleep doesn't always win. Sometimes purpose keeps knocking louder than your skin. Late night, cold glow, mind awake, body slow, future's running. Thoughts don't stop, some dreams don't sleep when the charts are high. Can't sleep, future's open, that's the life I know. Eyes on the screen while the whole world moves slow. Can't sleep, future's open, mind in the zone. Fighting with fatigue, but still holding my own. Can't sleep, future's open, pressure in the dark, building late night discipline, one candle at a time. Can't sleep, future's open, I stay with the grind while the city went quiet. I kept building my mind. There were nights I questioned if this road was too much, if all this late night pressure was worth the cost. But then I looked deeper and I saw what it gave, a sharper kind of focus that the easy hours don't make. Cause the futures don't care if I'm tired or drained. They move how they move, whether I'm ready or strained. And somewhere in that truth I learned something clean. Discipline is showing up even when you're running on a dream. Not every night like this ends with a win. Sometimes it just ends with more control within. And maybe that's the gift these midnight hours gave. Not just better trades, but a stronger way to stay. Late night, cold glow, mind away, body slow, future's running. thoughts don't stop, some dreams don't sleep. When the charts are high, can't sleep, futures open, that's the life I know. Eyes on the screen while the whole world moves slow. Can't sleep, futures open, mind in the zone. Fighting with fatigue, but still holding my own. Can't sleep, futures open, pressure in the dark, building late night discipline, one candle at a time. Can't sleep, futures open, I stay with the grind while the city went quiet. I kept building my mind. Not every lesson comes rested, not every dream is building comfort. Some of them are built with tired eyes and the focus soul. Cause when the future's open and the vision is alive, rest in ambition. Stop fighting in the same room. Can't sleep, futures open, now I know the cost. Some nights build your edge even when they leave you lost. Can't sleep, futures open, still I stay composed, learning how to hold my mind when my energy got low. Can't sleep, futures open, that's part of the fire, turning midnight pressure into sharpened desire. Can't sleep, futures open, riot in the glow. Some of my strongest focus was built when I should've been home in sleep. Oh, the body wanna rest, the vision wanted more. Some nights the future's one. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. Live by the chart, I live by the chart. I breathe in candles, I read the levels, and I decide in silence. LASIFOR TRADER, no risk, no story. I live by the chart, not by what they wanna see. My routine makes no noise, but it made a stronger me. Screens glowing bright, mind locked on the level, almost move with no direction. I chase what I know is real. I learned how to read the pulse of direction, to feel when the market starts changing intention. It's not magic, not guessing, it's focus and repetition. It's living inside structure, risk and decision. There are days when the world keeps running too fast, but I stay in my zone, learning how to watch. Because the one who lives by the chart learns more than how to trade. He learns how to see life without getting pulled away. Candles rise, candles fall, I stay steady through it all. I don't move from emotion, I move when confirmation speaks with precision. I live by the chart, that's my vision, between lines, zones, and execution. I live by the chart, with focused sight, reading in silence what matters inside. It's not just money, it's not just entry, it's a whole way of thinking differently. I live by the chart, and that's where I grew, because in every candle I kept reading myself too. There were whole nights where I let the time unfold, watching how one candle could say more than it showed. And in that cold language I found a deeper truth. The one who masters his mind sees with a different view. Because it's never just about winning or losing the trade, it's about understanding what kind of man you're trying to become each day. The chart only shows what the price decides to reveal, but it also shows how you react and what you really feel. That's why I'm still here, with respect and attention, not as a slave to the noise, but as someone with intention. Because living by the chart is not getting lost in obsession, it's finding through the process a real form of progression. Candles rise, candles fall, I stay steady through it all. I don't move from emotion, I move when confirmation speaks with precision. I live by the chart, that's my vision, between lines, zones, and execution. I live by the chart, with focused sight, reading in silence what matters inside. It's not just money, it's not just entry, it's a whole way of thinking differently. I live by the chart, and that's where I grew, myself too. The chart doesn't speak in words, but it tells the truth. It shows you the price, and it also shows you. And if you learn to listen without ego or illusion, it ends up teaching you more than just execution. I live by the chart, now I understand. It was never just the market, it was also who I am. I live by the chart, with more calm and control, not letting noise take command of my soul. If the candles move, I know how to wait, because not everything that shines deserves a trade. I live by the chart, that's my direction, between discipline, reading, and evolution. Not everybody understands what it means to live by reading movement, but some destinies are written that way. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. City lights, cold screams, late hours. Nasdaq nights. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Yeah. Nasdaq nights, blue lights on my face, charts glowing in the dark while the whole world slows its pace. Most people sleep, but my mind stays awake, watching every candle move, every level, every break. There's a different kind of silence in the middle of the night, when it's just me, the screen, and the need to get it right. No crowd, no noise, no fake applause around, just pressure in my chest and the market making sound. I learned a lot in these hours nobody sees, how to stay composed, how to breathe through the heat, because the night reveals things daylight never shows, like who you really are when the pressure grows. 8 hours, sharp mind, city sleeping, I'm reading signs, cold focus, steady sight. There's something sacred about Nasdaq nights. Nasdaq nights, where I sharpen my soul, where the screen stays bright and the mind stays cold. Nasdaq nights, where the pressure feels right, where I learn how to fight in the middle of the night. Nasdaq nights, no room for lies, just discipline, vision, and tired eyes. Nasdaq nights, that's where I grew. While the world went quiet, I stayed true. There were nights I felt lost with the chart in my face, nights I questioned the path, nights I tested my faith, but I kept showing up when it would have been easy to fold, because some dreams are only earned by the ones who stay cold. The city outside kept moving in its own way, cars passing by while I was still locked in the game. And somehow that contrast made the vision more clear, that if I wanted something bigger, I had to stay here. Not forever in the dark, not forever in the grind, but long enough to build a sharper frame of mind. Because these nights were never just about the trade, they were about the man these hours slowly made. Late hours, sharp mind, city sleeping, I'm reading signs, cold focus, steady sight. There's something sacred about Nasdaq nights. Nasdaq nights, where I sharpen my soul, where the screen stays bright and the mind stays cold. Nasdaq nights, where the pressure feels right, where I learn how to fight in the middle of the night. Nasdaq nights, no room for lies, just discipline, vision, and tired eyes. Nasdaq nights, that's where I grew. While the world went quiet, I stayed true. Not every lesson comes in daylight, not every dream is built when it's easy. Some of them are built in the quiet, under cold light, when nobody is watching. And that's what these nights gave me. Focus, discipline, identity. Yeah, Nasdaq nights, I know them well. They taught me how to stay calm inside the swell. Nasdaq nights, they shaped my mind, turned late night pressure into a different kind of drive. Nasdaq nights, that's where I stood, between fatigue and vision, choosing what was good. Nasdaq nights, write it in the glow. Some of the strongest parts of me were built when the city moved slow. The night never gave me anything easy, but it gave me clarity. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. losses to legend. From losses to legend. From broken nights to a name we wait. LASIFOR TRADER. No risk, no story. Yeah. There was a time when losses spoke louder than I did. When every fall felt like life was telling me to quit. Long nights, tight chest, mind full of pressure. Carrying the vision in silence through all the weather. I watched the counts fall, I watched doubt grow. I watched parts of me wanna let go. But something deep inside refused to die. Something that never learned how to say goodbye. I didn't have glory, I had the process. I didn't have answers, just fire in my chest. And even when I thought I was close to the end, every hit forced me to be born again. Because a legend is not born in comfort, it is born when the soul keeps going through the suffering. It is born in silence, in repetition, and still carrying the mission when the weight gets different. From losses